here you are.
I have one, are we done here?
Yeah, we're done there. You have an item for new business?
I have an item for new business or other business.
Well, we
whatever you
still
like to
also have after this prosecutor vehicle use, we did the academy. Go ahead.
Where is that?
I'm
Where is-
sorry, go ahead.
That's okay, this has to do with, I did a walkthrough here myself.
Sure.
I did it with Captain Daigle. I asked him to walk me around down below here. I had a concern with the booking area, and especially the Sallyport. And I can't believe, have you been in the Sallyport area where the cars come in?
I was there one day.
Okay. The problem that I have is, and I don't think there's anybody in this room that's gonna disagree with me, that it is extremely unsafe to have anything in there other than a vehicle coming in with a prisoner and get brought into booking. I understand that there used to be a storage facility off-site, and that I think the commission, before my time, ended up cutting that
Right, they did.
from their budget, or cutting the approval of that. And I strongly recommend that we go back to that and get that Sallyport area cleaned out completely. I'm not saying that anybody's to blame for it. The situation is the way it is. However, it is grossly unsafe for the prisoner coming in, as well as for the officer and anybody else that's involved in the arrest. And if anybody in the police department wants to argue with me about that, now's the time to do it. But nothing should be, that should be a sterile area. And what I mean by sterile is a clean area, void of any obstructions, any sharp areas. It's an accident waiting to happen, and I can guarantee you it is going to happen in the future. So we need to get, I don't know the storage situation in the building. I know there's problems up in the attic storage area. I don't know if there's another way of doing it off-site. I don't know if the town can. It would be my understanding that it would have to be a secure place because of what needs to be kept.
Well, I said this to the chief a while ago, and it's unfortunate, and I don't know why those conversations did not go on when the town was looking at this building for the repairs that needed to be done, why the town did not explore you know, doing something for storage, whether or not that would be part and parcel of that project or whatever, because it's unfortunate. I think this building has become, it's not necessarily that it's too small, but there are storage problems in this building, and it's unfortunate that that wasn't taken into consideration. And I don't know if the town could have certainly used some of that impact fee money for that to put towards that project, but that wasn't explored, and I think that's unfortunate that there was no conversation that either took place between the commission or whoever it was, but we were not consulted.
I agree. Is there any place that stuff can be housed in this building? Chief?
I don't believe so. I mean, the issue was, that you're correct, is that we had reached the point of unsafe and needing general storage. Past commissions had authorized within the budget, and it had been approved in the budget process. Off-site storage, it was at a secure location that we could get to 24 hours a day if we needed any of those items. There was some talk when Town Hall, the village school became Town Hall, that we could get some storage space up there, and we actually have some space up there, but I believe that's mostly stored with records and some other items, not some of the heavier items that you would see out here. Our concern at the time still was that there still was not enough proper storage, as you point out, for what you see out there, and we've even had to use if you've been in the next bin over, which is the impound bin next to the Sally Port, the one door, that's, you know, for detective areas, for evidence, and all that, I mean, that's been maxed out for a while too. So the reality is, I agree, we need to go back at some point to, the town either has to provide some type of storage, or we have to do it ourselves.
Right.
What, in the past commission's decision had been to do it ourselves, and we did that for a number of years. But then in a crunch time, it was taken out of the budget.
But it's not only there.
Right.
I think that Captain Daigle and I, and you and I, had a conversation about other areas in this building.
That's correct, there just is not.
But I don't
storage
see anything
spaces.
happening, I don't see anything happening.
On the heels of what I said, just because you have that area taken up by stuff that's out there, doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be in the condition that it's in. In other words, if you have cabinets that are loaded with stuff, those cabinets should be closed. Whether they need to be locked or not, I don't know. But when I walk through there, it looks like a daycare center that's gone awry with just stuff everywhere. Just everywhere. And whether people are using stuff and not putting it back properly, if that's the problem, I don't know. But I would think that even though you're in this situation where you're overcrowded, in my opinion, in that area for storage, that there could be an order, some
Clean
sort of an order in picking up the place, as well as seeing other areas. I agree with Commissioner, seeing other areas that are really, really out. I'm trying to find the right words without
Out of control.
putting myself in a bad situation here, but when I walk by some of these offices and desk areas in here, I'm appalled. But that's what my concern is. You know, it doesn't look right. Somebody wants to work in that environment in their office, that's their business, but I'm concerned about the
An
Sallyport
accident.
area,
Yeah.
where you bring in prisoners, and it's a bad situation, and it's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna fall, somebody's gonna crack their head. It's one thing if they were to fall and crack their head on the pavement that they're walking on. It's another thing to fall and crack their head on a workbench or a sharp box, metal box that shouldn't be there to begin with. I think we're just gonna open ourselves up to huge liability. And officer safety is, you know, in my opinion, is paramount. It needs to be addressed. And what the answer is, I don't know. If we need to go to outside storage like you once had, then maybe that's what we should do. How many storage facilities, do we know how many storage facilities there are in Hooksett that would meet our criteria of safety, security?
Two.
And size? And size as well.
Size is the size of the units we need?
Yeah. Well, I know what size, no, but I'm saying that are comparable, because again, if
Security
this,
point of view.
I'm sorry?
You're talking about the security point of view.
Well, I think you'd have to take into consideration security, the size of the facility, the square footage that you need,
Accessibility, 24/7.
right? And, you know, the common criteria that you would need to give out, because if you only had one in town, then I'd say, well, you would have to go look at the single game in town and get a price. But if you have 2 or 3 that are in town, then you have to check and either put it out to bid or at least get bids from them, as long as they fit the criteria that you would think is necessary. You know, they have an alarm system, lighting, I don't know, size. But
But we certainly can do that. We can do two things. We can take care of the Sallyport and get some information to bring back as far as locations in town that meet the requirements and what the
Right.
cost may be.
and some might, you know, one might be better than the other, right?
And how about putting out an order to clean up?